Hey everyone! I am so excited to be here. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Elise Basine, and I am an ascension activator. So I guide people to activate their own ascension and step fully into their soul's mission. So tonight I am so excited to talk about this information because this is literally like what excites me so much. So we're going to be talking about exploring your cosmic connections. Hi, Terry. How are you? Yes, and definitely if you're watching, let me know, say hi, and I would love to hear any questions along the way. So, tonight we're going to be talking about exploring your cosmic connections, and this is super, super exciting to me, something that I have been studying and exploring for about 20 years now, and I'll get into that a little bit. So, what I'm going to be sharing tonight is a mix of just my own knowledge. Hi, Tao. Just my own knowledge and understanding of the cosmos and of how to explore these connections and that I've just learned over the years. And then also I have tapped into my guides and gotten some channeled messages just for this group. So I also have asked them, hi, Jennifer. I also have asked them to hold a sacred space of activation for you all. So that means that as I'm sharing this message, we will start to activate your dormant DNA and unlock those connections to the cosmos because you all hold them, right? So I asked my guides to hold that space for all of us this evening. So I'm super excited about that. And just to explain a little bit, so the group of beings that I connect with regularly call themselves the Council of Nine. They are a high Palladian council that works within the Galactic Federation, as I understand it. And they have been sharing knowledge and wisdom with me for a little while now. So I basically asked them what you guys in particular, what this group really needs to know, not only to explore your cosmic connections, but also to begin to unlock that wisdom that is already deep within you, but you just need to remember it, right? So that's what we're going to be exploring tonight is, like I said, a mixture of my own knowledge and also the messages that I received earlier from the Council of Nine. Okay, so the first thing that they really wanted me to talk about, and I want to talk about this too, is why now, right? Because right now we are in a pivotal moment on this planet, and we are at a pivotal time where consciousness is elevating and people are awakening. So, right now is the perfect time to start to bring your abilities online and start to connect with those cosmic beings that are actually waiting in the wings right there for you and wanting to provide you with guidance, wisdom, and knowledge to help you on this journey. So, right now, we are in a time where people are starting to wake up and consciousness is shifting, and all of you are going to be needed in a big way. So it's really important to start to cultivate and nurture your connections with your own psychic abilities and your connections with your galactic guides, as I like to call them. And I'm going to get into that a little more. So many people right now are feeling this pull to connect with their guides and connect with their abilities in a completely new way. Okay. Oh, Terry said, what is a Council of Nine? So they are a group of beings that I channel. Um, so they are Palladian, which the Pleiades is a star system, and the Palladians are a group of beings that helping assist humanity with raising into higher states of consciousness. So they have that's what they have called themselves to me, and that's what I call them. And they are just a group of beings that share higher wisdom, information, and knowledge with me that I'm going to share with you. Okay, and I'll get into that a little more as I go on. Okay. Um, so the next thing that I really want to explain is everybody has these connections, right? Um, and I know a couple of you have said to me when I posted that I was going to do this training, a couple of you actually said to me, "Oh, I've always felt like I was Lyran, or I've always felt a connection to the Arcturians," or there's a few other ones that people mentioned in the comments when I posted this. So the biggest thing that I want to tell everyone about that is if you have always felt a pull or a draw to some group of beings, whether it be angels or the Palladians. I have always felt a strong connection to the Palladians, or Sirius, or there's hundreds of different species of and different planetary bodies out there. So if you have felt a pull or felt drawn for whatever reason to a certain group of beings, then you should definitely trust that, because that means that you probably have a strong connection to that group of beings. Okay, so really, really important to trust that and know that we all have. Oh, you're very familiar with the Palladians. Good. I'm going to be talking more about that because I'm going to tell you guys a little bit of my journey to connect with my galactic guides. So, yes, so most likely, and we all have different DNA from these different beings, but a lot of us will have a stronger connection to one because maybe we were part of them at one time and then we decided to come to Earth to assist with this great awakening that is happening right now. And then those beings that are not here are working with us to give us guidance and information and remind us of our mission and why we came to this planet, right? So, what I want to say to all of you is that if you were drawn to learning about this, that means that you definitely are a cosmic soul and you have come here to assist people with waking up and moving into higher states of consciousness, okay? So, the first message that they wanted me to share, and I love this. And they were really, really, really emphatic about this one. Like, they were like, okay, this is the most important thing. They want you to know that you are not alone and you have 100% support and guidance available to you. It's just about tapping in. So, what they're really wanting to get across here is like, it's this feeling, and I mentioned this too. If you watched my other live in my group on Friday, it was a similar message where it was about understanding that, like, you don't have to go at it alone. I think as humans, sometimes we kind of think that we need to do everything ourselves, or we forget that we have this divine connection and this connection to the other realms and to the other dimensions, and we can access that information and knowledge and draw on it whenever we want. So what they're saying is, hi, Valeria. Yes, this is so important. It's so important to remember this, okay? That you are not alone, and there are beings and guides that are specifically waiting to give you information and guidance to help you on your journey. And it's just about tapping into that. And I'm going to talk about that a little more as we move forward, okay? But that was like the biggest thing that they said is they're like, tell them they are not alone and that we are here to help, and that they want to help. They're just like waiting for you to draw on their guidance and wisdom. And I know that a lot of people are already drawing on the wisdom of their guides and are already kind of activated and connected, and that's amazing. And it feels really good. Oh, Terry said, I'm here to help people clean up, meaning helping them with their shadow work, karma, contract breakage, rewriting, blueprints. So amazing. And that is like so important right now because with these eclipses that are happening, and I'm glad you mentioned that, Terry, because I wanted to talk about this when I was talking about why now is the most important time to be doing this work and to be bringing these abilities online and connecting like this. Also, the eclipses that are happening, the one that happened on the 30th, the 14th, and then the portal that we're moving into December 21st, these are powerful energetic pushes that we're receiving to not only step into higher states of consciousness, but in order to do that, we need to release all of those lower frequency energies that are stopping us from stepping into these higher states. So Terry, the work that you're doing is literally paramount right now. It's the most important thing that anyone could be doing is shadow work, breaking contracts to old ways of being that are no longer serving you, and rewriting your story, right? And stepping into why you really came here, your soul's mission. And in order to do that, we need to release those blocks, right? So, Terry, that's amazing. And that's what these eclipses are pushing us to do. So, I'm sure. Some of you may have felt lately like you're on an emotional roller coaster because these eclipses are really pushing you to look at those dark places within us that we might not want to look at in order to transmute and alchemize the energy so we can step in to the light, so we can hold more light and step in to higher frequencies. Okay, so really, really important. Okay, so they're saying here that the guidance is always available. It's just about tapping in. And then they said, if you want to know how you tap in, you just ask and ask specific questions, they're saying. So if you are someone who, if you already know, oh, I have a strong connection to Lemuria, or I feel a strong connection to the Palladians, start asking, say, hey, I'd really like to connect with the Palladians. I'd like to connect with any benevolent beings that would like to talk to me and give me information from the Pleiades, right? If it's the Pleiadians, and see what information comes through. When I started channeling the Pleiadians, I literally just asked and I started receiving information. And then I connected with the Council of Nine. And the other thing they're saying too is that a lot of you have really strong connections to the angelic realms too. I know I do. And they said to start connecting with angels or whatever beings you're drawn to, but literally just start asking when you're in your meditation, ask and see what information you receive. Okay. So I just wanted to talk a little bit now about my story, which I just kind of mentioned, but I have always felt a really strong connection to the Pleiadians. I actually discovered them when I was 19 years old and started reading about them. This is almost 20 years ago now. I read literally every single book I could find about the Pleiadians. There was only like 5 back then. But I really felt this extremely strong connection to them. I would talk to them, I would communicate with them, I would feel their presence. And then I was really young, so I didn't feel confident or comfortable to necessarily like channel them, but I always felt super connected to them. And then fast forward to now when I've really started to uncover my abilities in the last year and really bring my psychic abilities online, I just felt drawn to start channeling them. And like I said, I literally just asked, I said, I would like to connect with you. Are you available? And they literally said to me, we have always been right here and we are a part of you. They were like, you are us and we are you. That's literally what they said to me. And when they said that, I got this like outpouring of love and energy, which is another thing I'm going to talk about connecting to the frequency of these beings and not just looking for like words or information, but actually connecting to the energetic frequency of these different beings, because that is the number one way that they're going to communicate with you, because everything is a frequency, right? And the reason why you can't see them or hear them necessarily is because they're just vibrating at a different frequency and they're in another vibrational dimension. So you just can't see them, but that doesn't mean they're not there. And I think that's one of the biggest hurdles for me, and I know for other people too, is we've kind of been programmed in our society that if you can't see it, it's not there, which we all know is not true, right? But that's just, I think, one of the barriers to beginning to connect with these interdimensional beings, because obviously we can't see them and we have to use some component of our imagination in order to translate the frequency that we're tapping into. Okay, so it's super important to start to trust the information that you're getting. So just because you can't see it doesn't mean that it's not real. Okay. So the other thing they really wanted me to say is if you are feeling called to this topic, then you are a cosmic soul. And I think I actually said that in the beginning. Then you are a cosmic soul and a star seed who came to this planet for this specific moment in time, the Great Awakening. So what they're saying is like if you're drawn to this information, then you 100% are a cosmic soul who came here with a specific mission to assist raising the vibration on the planet, moving into higher states of consciousness, and helping other people do that. And I know that most of you probably already know that at this point, but it's just important to trust the things that you're drawn to and know that if you weren't a star seed, a cosmic being, a light worker who came for the specific time right now for a specific reason, you probably wouldn't be drawn to listening to this or this information at all. Okay. Um, so the next thing they wanted me to share is there are beings from where you came, your star family, that are sending you support, information, and guidance regularly. It's just about tapping in and asking them who they are. So this is kind of something that I mentioned before, but what they're saying is like you have a family that's kind of like backing you, right? And this is something that I see in my Akashic Records readings a lot because the information that I usually receive in those readings is around your origins and where you came from and what beings are wanting to connect with you. And a lot of times I'll see that there's like this group of beings that are backing you, right? That are sending you information, guidance, support, and love. And it's just about tapping into their energetic frequency, right? And like I said, you can start to do this with the angels because I see a lot of people that have really strong angelic connections. And the frequency of angels are they're like this really high unconditional love frequency. It's similar for me when I enter the Akashic Records. I feel a similar frequency to the angels and the Pleiadians. It's like a very high unconditional love frequency. So I always say to people, like, just tap into the frequency of that, like, unconditional love, and then start to ask for the guidance and information. Because once you're in that frequency, then it's easier to receive the information. Oh, wait, let me see what Terry's saying. Plus, Pleiadians are part of the grand experiment and free will planet called Earth. Pleiadians and other ETs chose thousands of years to embody a physical body to assist and guide. Yes. Yes. So yes, I know exactly what you're talking about, and that is really true. And it is kind of this grand experiment where humans actually have DNA from all different ET species. And what they say is that humans are kind of like a galactic peace treaty in a sense, because if we can get along and we have DNA from all of these different species, all of these different ET species, then that is kind of like a peace treaty for the universe. So yes, Terry, I've totally have heard that, and it's so cool. I just love this stuff so much. Okay. Yeah, so then the other thing they're saying is start with connecting with the angels if that feels aligned for you, because they have that really high unconditional love frequency, and it will be easy for a lot of you to connect with them, is what they're saying, because they told me that many of you have strong connections to the angelic realms as well. And then the other thing that they said is you all dropped in with a specific purpose and a way in which you are going to help, right? So for instance, Terry just shared this amazing thing that she knows she's here to help people clean up, right? For me, I have a very strong knowing that I'm here to help people raise their frequency, move into higher states of consciousness, and start to bring their abilities online. Like that's something that I know that I'm here to do. So what they're saying is everyone came to help, but everyone came to help in a very specific way. And I'm sure that most of you here know or have some idea of the specific way that you came here to help. And also it evolves and changes, right? So like for me, for instance, I started out 20 years ago learning and teaching breath work. And when I first started my business, I was like, okay, I do breath work, right? But now as I have grown and shifted and stepped more into alignment with my mission and understanding who I am. Now it's kind of shifted and changed where it's like, okay, breath work is a part of what I do, but I actually am here to help elevate people's consciousness level and help raise their vibrational frequency. And that was a direct message that I also got from my guides. So what they're saying is it's really important to continue to uncover and align with that specific way that you came here to help, because as you do that, it's not only going to help the people around you, but you are going to continue to blossom and bloom and can continue to connect and receive information in deeper and deeper ways because of your continued alignment and ongoing growth into this specific way that you came here to help. It's like you have this specific medicine that you came to give people, and there are specific people that need that specific medicine so they can step more fully into giving their specific medicine, right? So it's kind of like this web of uh, raising consciousness, essentially. And then the other thing they were saying is just to ask to be shown where you came from and see what information you get, see what images you get, see what colors you see, right? See what words you hear or what feelings you get, right? Just start to tune into that, start to ask. Okay, so the next thing they're saying is exploring your multidimensionality and knowing that fractals of you exist in other dimensions. When you allow yourself to access these other realities, you in essence make yourself whole again. So that was a big one. So I'm going to read that one more time. So what they said is exploring your multidimensionality and knowing that fractals of you exist in other dimensions. When you allow yourself to access these other realities, you in essence make yourself whole again. So what they're saying is that we are multidimensional beings, right? And there are pieces of us that are living in other dimensions. And when we allow ourselves to access those other dimensions, it's almost like, so right now we're in the 3D, right? And my physical body is right here in the 3D. But as I raise my consciousness, it's like I'm moving out. Okay, now I'm moving my consciousness into 5D, right? And then as I continue to move my consciousness out and out and out and out, these pieces of me that are existing in the other dimensions, they kind of become whole again because I am raising my awareness outward into these higher dimensional frequencies. Okay, so let me know if that makes sense. I'm going to go to the comments for a second. Roxy, hi. I have a strong connection to love and light and spreading that message. I also help people clean up their lives and their spaces and inner and outer planes. But I have a connection to goddesses, especially Isis, who revealed herself to me. Awesome. I didn't even know who it was until someone told me after I described her. That's so cool. I love that. Yeah, and I feel like a lot of us have come to help clean up in some way, and it's just the specific way that we do it that will help those specific people that need it, right? So cool. Lisa, I've been told I'm Arcturian and also Lyran. I'd love to be sure which it is. It's probably both. And also, so that's a really good question because I've had people ask me this before, like, I feel like I'm drawn to this, but I feel like I might be that, and I'm not sure. And the answer is usually yes and yes, because, like I said, we do have different DNA. We are this hybrid species. So we have different DNA from different species. So you're probably both. But the important thing is, what do you feel the most drawn to? And I would start there with trying to connect with those beings because it's really about what you feel and what you feel the most drawn to, because that's where you're going to get the best information from, is just by going on how you feel and what really lights you up, what really makes you feel like that pull, that draw to that energy, that frequency. Okay. Terry, yes, you can also access through a dream. Since you leave your body during the dream, if the dream feels real, yes, totally. And I have accessed definitely access other dimensions of reality through dreams. It's totally like in our dreams, we're astral traveling. We're just not always super consciously aware of it, but that's totally true. So also look at your dreams. And if you're one of those people that has really profound dreams, you probably are getting information in your dreams. Like I have a client right now who was describing a dream to me, and immediately as she was describing it, I was like, oh, that she was on the planet where she came from, or that was a dimension where she is actually from. Like that was her origins that she was describing. Like I could just feel it. So your dreams are super important to begin to access information, knowledge, and wisdom about where you came from. Okay. um Brianna, I'm not sure what my specific purpose is here now. I've always felt a strong connection to the earth and Earths. I hadn't even considered a cosmic origin. I have, however, seen angels in their true form, so I feel drawn to what you said. Yeah, so start there. Start connecting with the angelic realms, because they told me that like a lot of the people in this group have really strong angelic connections. I definitely do too. The Palladians and angelic realm is like a similar energy, although the angels are usually in the higher dimensions, but Palladians can be too, from what I understand. So just go with what you're drawn to. That's the best way. Like don't overthink it. Don't be like, oh well, this means this and that means that. No, just go with how you feel, because it's all an energy. It's all a frequency, right? It's whatever frequency you feel drawn to, that's what you should go with, right? I mean, I've been told I have a connection to these green alien beings that give me information. Like I've been told a lot of different things, and it all resonates with me because it's all true. But it really depends on how you feel and the energy that you feel drawn to connecting with, right? Um, and Lisa, I'm super connected to cats. Cats are multidimensional beings. Oh my God, I remember when I first started connecting with the Pleiadians, and I had a cat at the time, and they were saying stuff like cats go in and out of dimensions, and I swore my cat would like disappear and reappear all the time. Cats are totally multidimensional beings. And Valeria, my client who's in my course, who's amazing, she has this strong connection to these like feline interdimensional beings who have appeared to her and moved in and out of dimensions. So cats are interdimensional beings for sure. So that's really cool. Okay. So, oh, the other thing they wanted me to tell you is to trust what you think you're making up. Okay, so if like, because this has happened to me a lot, where I will connect with a multidimensional being, or I will have a really big download about something, and I'm like, this seems really out there. Like, am I just making this up because it seems wild? Like, I've downloaded some things where, I downloaded this thing about my a past life of my son. I've downloaded things about just different alien beings that I have connected with. And sometimes I'm like, this is really wild. Like, is this really happening? Right. And what they want me to tell you is trust what you think you're making up. And just know that there is like a fine line between your imagination and these other realms. So, and I talked about that a little bit in my video in my group, which I invite everyone to go watch because it's similar to this, but it's more around activating your psychic abilities. And there's a fine line between your imagination and tapping in, right? Because you need to kind of use your imagination in order to tap into these energies, okay? Um, okay, so let's see. I think we're almost done with the messages. Let me see. And then the other thing they're saying is lack of trust is the only thing that's blocking you. So what they're saying is just trusting the information that you're receiving and knowing that it is real, right? And not questioning it. Because when you question it, you block your ability to receive information because you're basically saying like, okay, this isn't real. And then you create a block, right? but when you trust what you're receiving and you allow yourself to open up to it and you allow yourself to kind of soften and receive it, that's when you receive the most information, right? Um, Let me see. I know I have a lot in the comments here. Okay, let me just finish these and then I'm going to read in the comments. All right. But so the next message that they want me to share is, but when you can allow this higher energy to work through you, you begin to trust what you're feeling and seeing. Okay. So this is really important. So like allowing yourself to open up to what you're receiving instead of questioning it, right? Instead of not trusting it, because that's what they're saying is like the biggest block for everyone is just questioning it and not trusting it. Okay. But when you can allow yourself to soften and know that you're safe, you're supported, you're grounded, you're secure, and just allow yourself to open up and receive information. And even if it seems wild, even if you're like, what? Just allow it to come through and don't like judge it or analyze it in the moment. Like just allow yourself to have the experience and then you can judge it later if you want. I don't recommend it, but still, you know what I mean? You kind of put that analytical mind to the side, and just allow yourself to experience the energetic transmission that you're receiving when you tap into these energies. Okay. Um, okay. So the other really big thing that they said is around getting out of your own way, which is kind of what I've been talking about. They said this is big. They had me write in big capital letters, big. They said that you getting your own beliefs and programming out and setting it aside is crucial in connecting with your family from the stars. So what they're saying is like any fear, any beliefs of like this is not going to work is what blocks you actually. So they're saying getting those beliefs and that programming out of the way is crucial in making these cosmic connections. And then the other thing that they said, and this is kind of a long one, so just stay with me. I'm going to read it. This is really important though. There has been very old programming on this earth around giving away your power. This must be addressed within you before you work with these beings, because in order to work with them, you'll be claiming tremendous power. Okay, so this is really important, and this has been a theme that's been coming up for me, and I know for a lot of my clients too, around really looking at where are you giving away your power, right? Where are you not claiming your full power? Because as a multidimensional being, as a light worker, you have access to tremendous power. And by cultivating and nurturing these connections, you are literally claiming that power and taking that power back. And it's really, really big, right? So what they're saying is in the face of this, it's really important to look at the places where you are holding your power back, right? Where you're not fully claiming your power or where you're giving your power away. Okay. So how do you claim your power? So by creating these connections, right? And by it's about just looking at the places where you might be holding back, where you might be unconsciously giving your power away or not fully stepping into your power. So that was one of the big things that came up. Okay. And then the last one, and I know I want to read what everyone else is saying. And the last thing they're talking about is learning to tap into the energetic frequency, right? Of that really high unconditional love frequency. They're saying learning to tap into that energy first and practicing that first, and then allowing the information to come through, okay? And in order to tap in, it's so important to leave fear at the door. Okay, and then this is the last part, which I thought was really, really beautiful. They're really saying, like, be gentle and loving with yourself and take great care in knowing that it's already done. You've already connected, so you're already connected, so you don't have to question that. Treat yourself the way you would treat a child, with great care, as you allow yourself to sink in, breathe, and feel in to who you already are. So, what they're really saying here is like, soften, be gentle with yourself, and it's just about like remembering who you really are. And because you already have these connections, you already have this ability to tap in. It's just about softening into it and remembering, right? So that's what they're saying is don't be too hard on yourself, right? Is kind of what I got from that information. Okay. Yes, just believing in my gifts. Oh, Terry, you had a soul retrieval several years ago and had one of the good reptilians give the person performing the soul retrieval a bio book to see of how to see the body in a holographic form on a pedestal and see what is wrong and where the energy is stuck. That's so cool. That actually is very similar to the energy work that I've been doing with people that is so powerful. And a lot of it is around where the energy is stuck, and a lot of it is around like reclaiming your authentic power. um okay, Brianna, I struggle to not claiming to the point where I hide it except for a very select few people. That's my biggest hurdle. But I've noticed that when I'm with people I don't feel like I need to hide things from, I can do amazing things. I really feel like I've been um, a magical being in all or most of my past lives and been punished or outcasted for it. Well, yeah, I'm sure you have. And it's really coming up a lot. Yeah, because it's coming up for you to heal now. Like, now is like this great healing. Like, it's the great awakening, but it's also the great healing because we're being called to not only heal from what we've experienced in this lifetime, but every lifetime, and also what we are carrying from our ancestral line. And right now, especially right now, like in these next few weeks, we are being called to look at, release, and transmute so much, if not all, I want to say, of that energy. And it's a process, obviously, but we're being called to look at all of the ways where not only are we not claiming our power, but those blocks that are in place, that old programming from past lives that we're carrying from our ancestral line, and to change the story, to look at it, release it, and create something new that's not based on that old programming and those old beliefs. Okay. Um, and Lisa, every bit of this message is for me. Oh, good, Terry. I'm glad you needed to hear this information. Yeah, so I think the number one thing is just A, trusting what you're being drawn to, and B, trusting the information that you're receiving. And this is exactly what we're going to be doing in my course that is starting at the end of the week called The Awakening. It is 8 weeks to activate higher states of consciousness, bring your psychic abilities online, and connect with your cosmic family. One of the things that I have been shown is that part of my purpose here is to help connect you with your cosmic family so you can start receiving information from your galactic guides. So this is super exciting for me to put this out there and invite people to this experience. Not only is it 8 weeks of meditation, breath work, energy work, but it is sacred community. And I will tell you, with the other courses that I have, the community is the most important thing. Being around like minded, beautiful souls that are doing similar work to you, that can reflect back to you your power and your beauty and your gifts. There is nothing better than that. So we'll be spending 8 weeks utilizing meditation, breath work, and powerful energy work that I have learned more recently and learned how to use it to really help you release specific blocks so that you can open up and learn how to work with your own energy so that you begin to receive information. So if this is something that is resonating with you, then I am offering $100 off if you put your name on the wait list, and I'm going to be opening it up on Thursday or Friday for people to enroll in the course. And I'm so excited about it. It is going to be a really, really beautiful, sacred experience where we will open up and explore and begin to really connect with psychic abilities and your cosmic connections. So please let me know if anyone has any questions about this, or if you want to see if it's a good fit for you, reach out to me so we can chat. I would love, 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 love to connect with all of you more. Please let me know if you have any questions about any of this information. I don't know. I think I got to all of the questions in the chat. If not, just reach out to me if you want to know something else. But thank you so much for being here with me this evening and for connecting with me. So much love to all of you, and I will talk to you soon.